They say we should stop spanking our children. They say we should stop shouting as mothers. They say we should stop nagging the children. Me, I have talked, and these children, they are still not listening. What am I doing wrong? This is what I hear, I see all the time. Like I would always say, because you are not spanking your child or you are not shouting does not mean that you should overlook or take rubbish, something unacceptable for your children. What we're just saying is that there are alternatives to you having to spank or shout or nag, because yes, can work for you short term, but in the long term, will you be spanking, let's say your 18-year-old does not listen to you? Do you want to wait till that time? Even for some of you, your parents can't even talk to you because you are like, you cannot come and beat me. I'm in my husband's house. I'm a married man. But at the end of the day, who's keeping you accountable? And this is what I would be addressing in this video. If this is something you're interested in, then stay with me till the end. Welcome back to our channel, Grow with G Days. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back to watch our videos. We do appreciate you. Thank you so much for always taking out time to like, comment, engage with us. We appreciate and we love you. And if this is your first time, like I've said, please do not hesitate to just click that subscribe button to subscribe to our channel. Our channel is basically, we're focused, on, raising children, intentional parenting, having fun as a family. As you can see, I run the channel with my children. So it's the channel for both parents and the children. It's just about saying, the family is the bedrock for a society. If we're doing something right at home, it will definitely, it will have some impact, a resultive impact in, in our society as well. And basically, life is too short not to have fun with our family and with our loved ones, especially our children as well. So thank you so much. Right, so in this video, as you can see, many parents, they'll be saying, especially, let me even call us out first. Mothers, they'll be saying, you say we should not shout, we should not spank, we should not do this. These children, they are not listening. I have talked and talked and talked. Me, I'm tired of talking. But when I hit them like this, well, they would, straighten up. But what I'm saying is that, yes, whatever, decision whatever, decision you make as a parent for your children, is your choice. It's my responsibility, obviously, as a professional, as a mom, as a child psychologist, and also a mom myself, to say there's so many other alternatives there that can help. Which, to be honest, the alternatives are not the reason why we're in this video, but why I'm making this video is why positive discipline supersedes the negative way of discipline. But like I would always say, we're not saying tolerate rubbish or sit back and watch your children go into destruction like this, and because they say you should not shout, you should not spank, you should not nag, you are just talking for talking's sake. We're not saying you should just talk. There are consequences, there are things, boundaries that you need to put in place to guide your children. There are rules you need to put in place to help your children succeed in life and be, well-rounded, especially disciplined adults, right? So that's what I'll be, speaking on, what positive discipline is and what it is not. So when we say, positive discipline can be like gentle parenting, it can work for that. So when we're saying, this is what you're meant to do, we're not saying take rubbish or take your eyes off encourage your child's misbehaviors or make excuses for them to say, oh, okay, the child has done this, okay, I'm going to just talk about it. It doesn't just end in just saying something about it. There are measures that you need to put in place. And positive discipline does not mean, like I've said, to be permissive with all those things. And positive discipline does not mean that, you should be a perfect parent. There's no perfect parent. Your children cannot love you. I tell my children, you cannot love me all the time. I'm going to put some rules and boundaries in place that you might not necessarily like, but I'm doing it for your own best interest at the end of the day. So let your children know that, yes, you are not out there for them to always love your decisions, because it's not going to work like that. So when it comes to positive parenting or gentle parenting, we're not saying that, be a perfect parent, because there's nothing like a perfect parent. We're meant to be great, best parents for our children, because that's the children God has blessed us with, and it's our responsibility to be the best for them and they best for us anyway. But perfect, nothing like perfectionism when it comes to, raising your children. And what positive parenting is also is not that you should just let your children do whatever they want to do. Like, just you're not setting any clear expectations. You have not discussed what they're meant to do, what they're not meant to do. You are just saying, don't do this. You just talk, don't do this. That's all. It ends there. When they've done it, what do? You just talk. Talking cannot solve it. Then, so what exactly are you meant to be doing, when it comes to positive parenting, being intentional, with your children? One, setting the limit. Clear limit. This is what you're supposed to do. This is not what you're supposed to do. If you do this, these are the corresponding consequences. If you don't do this, so what exactly is positive parenting? What do we say that, to bring out the best from your children in this digital age, what you need to start to do differently from our own time anyway, is one, setting limits and clear expectations. Many times your children don't know. Yes, you are always telling them what they're doing wrong, but you don't highlight what you want them to do right. So, and it's your responsibility to say, oh, this is what I expect you to do. This is what you're doing. This is what you're not meant to do. And these are the corresponding consequences. So there must be some sort of consequence that is set in place, which can be rewards or positive consequences or negative consequences. So positive consequences is, for example, your child does this, rather than you saying, oh, this is what you want to do. Or if you do this, this is the negative consequence would be, maybe you would lose, let's say, for example, screen time, or you will go to timeout, or you would write this. So whatever negative is, that it's not something that the child will be happy about, but you are not spanking or shouting, right? Positive consequence is that, oh, if you do this, if you listen, if you do this, you are going to have maybe extra time to play your game, or we're going to go out this weekend for pizza or something like that. So positive is something the child will be excited to do. Every child is different. I've seen negative consequence works more for some children, rather than they're not doing with rewards. And for some children, they would rather die with positive rewards over negative consequences. But ensure that you have those clear expectations and boundaries set for your children, so that they know when they're doing the right thing, and when they've goofed or done the wrong thing, they know that this is the repercussion. So it's just ensuring that you teach your children power of choices. Like, if you decide to not do what I've said, this is it. And if you decide to do it, this is the consequence. So that's what we're saying positive parenting, it's about. So not that you're just punishing a child, that the child does not know this is wrong, and the next thing goes here and there for the child. And the next thing is, offering choices. So in the sense that positive parenting is like, rather than saying, oh, you must wash the dishes now. Something like, oh, do you want to wash the dishes now or at 3 o'clock? So you're offering choices to improve, cooperation, to make your children learn, think that, okay, they also have some level of control with their own decisions and time as well. But to be honest, you're still the one making the decision. So offering choices will also help you as a parent in, raising more like aware and maybe obviously cooperative children. Then the next one is redirect redirecting the behavior. So let's give an example. Let's say a child, you have a little one that is always scattering your wardrobe, for example, and you're always shouting, you this child, you have got to my wardrobe again, what is it? Or maybe scattering the pots in the kitchen, right? Rather than redirecting the behavior, you are just complaining, and the child will keep doing the same thing. So you want to teach the child that, oh, you don't scatter clothes like this. The wardrobe is meant for arranged clothes. So rather than just send the child away and you now tidy it up for the child, the next day the child does the same thing again. You want to do it with the child and say, you see, mommy folds, daddy puts this here, you put pots in, the pot is meant for the cabinet, something like that. And you do it with the child. Right? Rather than just telling the child to go and the next day the child repeats the same thing, especially for younger children, but they don't get it. But when you redirect the behavior, they understand it that, okay, when they see that they've actually helped you, or you've done it together like thrice, the same thing, they scatter it, you arrange it together with them, then they stop doing it because they know that's not the right thing to do. That's how you redirect behavior. Redirecting behavior is showing you how to do it, right? So even for your older children, if they've done something and you're just shouting, you are too clumsy, you cannot do this, see how you messed up my kitchen or whatever it is, and you do it yourself, the next day they go and do the same thing. So rather than just complaining or shouting or just talking for talking's sake, do it with them and say, this is what I expect you to do. This is how you arrange the kitchen. This is what you do to the kitchen. After you've cooked or after you've used something, you return it back, to its place. That is what we mean by redirecting behavior. And the next point is show respect. So positive parenting is about respecting each other's, opinion and, personality. Many of us, we want our children to respect us, but we got no respect for them. Thinking that I'm your mama, I'm your papa, you should listen to me, you should do whatever I say. They are human beings as well. They also have their own opinions. Okay, are they correct or are they wrong? Whatever it is, but let us respect each other. That, you know what, talk to them. I get it. This is what you've done. This does not cut it. This is not acceptable. And because you've done that, this is the consequences to your action. But you have to respect. Imagine you shouting at your husband, or your husband is shouting at you. You'll be saying, why are you disrespecting me? So why must we be shouting at the children? Because they are children. Oh, I don't understand. Would you even shout at your colleagues? So I'm just always thinking, what do we call what do you think these children are? The next point is show respect. Respect begets respect, right? Many times what we're saying is that in terms of positive parenting, if you want to be very intentional with your children, raising well-rounded adults, we have to be respectful. So I know some of you might say, I'm the mother, I'm the father, they should obey me, they should listen to me. But if you teach respect, they also tend to respect you when they feel that you respect them as well. Because, let's give an example. With your partners, for example, you want them to cooperate with you. But when you don't respect them, they don't cooperate with you. They don't get on the same page with you. So it's the same with children. If you want them to be more cooperative, you don't have to do so much talking here and there. Just learn to respect your children. Say, please, can I have this? Please, can you help me with this? Thank you for doing this for me. Many times, all we can hear is complain, complain, complain. When they've done something good, we're not highlighting it. Highlight it. Thank you. Please, can you help me get that? Not that, just bring that thing for me. Go upstairs. Go and bring that thing. Please, can you help me get my phone? Please, can you help me get my bag? Please, can you help me get my keys? So, yes, respect. That's part of what positive parenting, is about. Then the next one is involve them in decision making. So if you want to do something, let's say for them in their bedrooms or whatever it is on their house, maybe you want to change something, rearrange the house, ask for opinions, from your children. They just feel like they're part of the decision in the house, because we are teammates with these team members. With these children are our team members. There's a reason God blessed you with these children, and it's because that God knows that we need each other in this in this journey. So you can just ask them, oh, what color would you like? And it's as young as, from age 4, you can ask your child, like, you want to buy, let's say, throw pillows, for example. Oh, what color do you think? You already know that you are thinking of yellow or gray. So you can just say, is it the gray one or the yellow one? So it's like, okay, our parents are actually involving us in this thing. And that's what intentional, positive, gentle parenting, everything that we're saying, it's about, right? And the more you do it, the more cooperative your children would get, the more you become like a family, really, when you do this. And the next one is building a relationship. So many of us, we just have that one-way communication. You want your children to just listen and do what you want them to do, but you're not asking for feedback. You're not asking them for what they feel. You're not asking them for their own, trying to understand where they're coming from. You're not asking them questions, right? All you're just doing is talk and talk. Ask and receive feedback from your children, and that's where you build that bond as a parent-child bond. So create that relationship, play together, because all the time when you are talking is when you want them to do something, but it does not have to be like that. Find time to play games, to go out with your children, to spend time even in the house. Spend time with your children, dance, have fun, be silly at times with your children, and they just try to they now start to get on that same page with you to say, okay, mommy or daddy is this as human as I am as well. And if they've made mistakes, even while and the good thing about when you create a relationship with your children is that when they make mistakes, they're not afraid, they don't withdraw, because at that time you're able to teach them lessons in between to say, oh, you can do it better like this, you can do these things, in this particular way. And it just removes that, oh, I have to spank or nag to get my children on the same page with me. And finally, show empathy. Many times we are not empathizing as all as parents. We can be so hard. Like, must we be hard? Must everything be like strict? Like soldier, like, you must do this, army people, like, do this, do that. Empathize with your children, understand them, put your children, put yourself in the shoes of your children, that when I was a child, and it's too many times you ask yourself, now when I was a child, I was even worse than these children. Many of us, we gave our parents tough time, right? So empathize and say, oh, I understand where this child is coming from. Then you can now respond and teach your children from a place of understanding, and this will go a long way, right? So if you've gained, one thing or the other, let me know in the comments. Or if there are other ways that you think, we can highlight positive parenting, that you don't need to do a lot of, all this shouting, nagging, you talk, it's not getting you anywhere. We're not saying you talk anywhere. You have to go through this, through this step before you can reach the position to want to talk, and it's making sense to these children. Anyway, thank you so much for watching till the end. If you watch till this place, thank you so much. If you've not liked, please like. If you've not comment, and if you've not shared. There's no parents that does not need to subscribe to this channel. We're just about having fun while we raise amazing children, having fun as a family, and that is what we need to make the world a beautiful place. So till next time, see you in the next video. Love you.